Hi! I wanted to make another video to just do an update, I guess. I made notes this time, but that was like days ago, and I had a different idea, but I'm just going to go with it, and hopefully this will turn out pretty good. So I want to update why I drive for Uber and the context of what people say about drivers, or like why people drive. So in these groups online and possibly other people, there probably is a stereotype of what a driver is, and a lot of people say the drivers are just not very social people, or we're not very good at getting along with people and things like that. And I don't think that they're describing people who do this part-time. I think they describe this as people who don't have another job. Well, I don't have another job right now. I am in the works of getting a job, but it will be kind of a temporary job anyways, but possibly leading to some kind of career in the future, maybe. We'll see. But the reason why I drive for Uber is, now that I've been doing it for about 6 months, is that I have complete freedom and I don't have to get up and go someplace by a certain time, and I don't have to feel rushed to do that. It's a much more relaxed way of working, and on top of it, it's not rocket science. It's not like people make you feel stupid doing this. I think some people might think you're stupid because you do this, maybe because these people aren't very nice and they're not very kind, but yeah. I really do care about the way that I treat people at work and stuff, and I've been on a very slow learning curve of understanding like office politics and things like that, and I've never been able to work it out to where I'm like successful with that. And so that's one of the reasons why I do drive for Uber. So the whole antisocial or can't get along with people is partially true, probably, but not for everyone. And also, not everyone is functioning in the same way, and not everyone communicates properly. So it's all on you, and you don't have to basically collaborate with people, to be successful at this. So I like the solo type of work that this requires. So that's why I really, really, really enjoy it. And I've already talked about, do I have another real job, or do I want a real job? Do I want a real job? I kind of am in the need to have a real steady job, because this isn't a very steady sort of income, and even though you do decide on what trips you take, you do depend on the app to send you trips. So that being said, it's kind of like a give and take relationship. So last night I came home early, and I was going to make a video about that, and that's basically because I was given maybe 10 trips in a row that were just not what it didn't fit my criteria, and we've been having good boost in the area, and I was trying to change the way that I do things, and I'm going to be honest, it just didn't really work out, and it frustrated me more than it benefited me. And so I decided to come home. I don't work when I have any sort of attitude adjustment that's needed. So that's the number one thing. It for me is to make sure that check my attitude, make sure that I'm pleasant, making sure that I'm not irritated, and working through those irritations when they do arise. The irritation, I'll clarify if you need it, is because they were sending me trips that were out of the boost area, whether they didn't even have a boost or barely a boost, one, and then two, it was in the wrong direction, and it was going to keep me out and further away from home. And I live in a pretty good boost area, so it's just kind of frustrating that. So I'm going to work on my attitude before I work tonight, and make sure that I'm pretty level-headed and probably a little bit more flexible. That's what I've done in the past, is I usually just go with what Uber it zins me, and I cross my fingers, and I just make sure I'm not getting out too far. And when I am pretty close, like whenever I get circled back around, I do try to move back into the area that I would love to work in. But because there are drivers who get all their trips with Boost, and I'm like, I live in the Boost, I should be able to get the Boost. I don't understand. So it just got a little to me last night, a little bit. I've been working on that, and I'm a lot better now than when I started. So if you were a person who gets kind of frustrated because things aren't just going the way that you need them to be, this is a great opportunity to be able to work on it on your own. You don't have some manager, some boss, or some coworkers to be judging you while you're working through that. So that's one of the reasons why this job is really great, so that you can work on yourself and make yourself a better employee in the future for your next future job. Because we all do. This is not, I don't think that this is kind of a career type of job unless you're going to move into the direction of transportation and things like that. I do have a future job idea, career that I, will make a company, and that these experiences are definitely going to help make that a success. So this isn't just a loss type of job. I think you should always have a bigger idea of what you want in life when you do this. So anybody who puts down people who do this job, or they don't think much of drivers, or they really discount them a lot, those people are just not really kind people, and maybe they've just been really blessed to not have been in situations where they haven't been able to maneuver their way into a better spot. And I'm usually outpowered at work, and I'm usually really quiet at work, and because I really would put the work first and try to do my best work that I could do. And sometimes it's just, in today's workforce, it's just not enough. You really need those relationships. So a lot of people that work on those relationships more than their skills, they usually get more successful looking at work. I think that they depend on that system, whereas people like me who fall kind of into this category, I don't think we excel in that system. And so that's why I'm really grateful for this kind of opportunity, and I'm really grateful for the makers of Uber and the makers of Lyft and the makers of Grubhub or Postmates or whoever I'll call out by name. I usually don't do that, but just to give you examples that these people who do make these platforms, they should be given like a thank you for having this and giving us this opportunity. I do understand that there are a lot of drivers who do complain about how much we get paid and things like that. And yes, like I said last night, it was very frustrating because they would be sending me these long these trips a long way from where I was, and with very low boost, and I don't know how far that trip is going to be. I'm not sure if that 10-minute drive to that pickup is going to be worth that 1-minute drop off. So it's just, that can be a big frustration. And I think that's the number one frustration for drivers. So and I wrote how I have overcome, like, what has stopped me from, I guess, getting a job, and I've shared that just in this video. I've already shared that, so if you want to know any more about that, I'm more than happy to say. And what is next? Even if I do get another job, I'm still going to be driving for Uber. I have definitely put myself into a financial position where I am in need of work and need of as much work as possible. And so the job, like I said, that I'm going for is paid really well. It is, I think it's like a temporary type job. So this job isn't necessarily like a career type. And so it's in a completely different environment. So I'm really excited about that. I've worked in many different environments, and it's just been difficult to find the place that I belong. And one job was like the best job, and I did make a poor decision. I'm not going back to that job. after having left for an education reason. And I did try to reach out to them maybe like within the year of returning, but I never got a call back. So I never called them again or sent emails. I didn't really try that hard, but life. So I'm here to share life and share how to make this job work and why I'm working and what people think of drivers that do this and where I'm going as well, because it's my channel. I can do what I want.